So I am just getting ready to blend up some acai bowls for the Yellow Brink Group. Those guys are coming in to talk about their event coming up on Saturday the 25th, our street night market, and they're going to be here any minute. So I'm going to get blending and we're going to go talk to them. All right, so welcome guys. Thanks for joining me here at Nectar. I have some acai bowls for you guys. To start with, how we do it here is we start with the granola on top, just to give it a base, and then we can add our toppings on top. So we have some different options for you, and have at it.
Okay, Curtis started off. Pass to the left.
Is this the right spoon?
Yeah, whatever one you want.
Thank you, by the way.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
So while we're topping, let's talk a little bit about Yellow Brink Group and how that came to be.
Sean, Danny, and myself have been working with each other in some capacity for about the last 10 years.
Okay.
Sean had a clothing company. They built ground up Cloud9 clothing, did for years. Guys, cutting his teeth in marketing and designing and doing that stuff. Damien is one of the partners for HOF, so event organization, music and stuff. And I worked with them for years doing that, and then doing personal freelance branding and design and stuff like that. It was really a no-brainer when it was time to kind of Voltron up and create this super group that can handle design, branding, marketing, the business aspect, event planning. So all these pieces combined is kind of what creates Yellow Brink Group and what we do.
We still believe, our philosophy is that all the best marketing still happens in the real world. And so we go about approaching projects with clients, asking them to think bigger, think deeper, and how can we create experiences that tell your brand story. And so for us, our street is our way of doing that internally for ourselves, and also in a way that we can really deliver on something that we really care about, which is building a platform for creatives to be inspired, to participate in something bigger than themselves.
Awesome. So speaking of the event aspect, our street, the night market, you guys are the men behind that movement. So you tell me a little bit about that.
Sean was enamored with night markets and kind of was in our ear about, hey, I think this is something that not only could do really well in Sacramento, but would be really good for the city, because we have such a progressive food culture, and these chefs are doing these pop-ups, and then business owners and restaurant owners that are doing cool stuff. It'd be great if we could provide a platform to showcase, because for chefs doing pop-ups, it's really hard to jump from serving stuff to opening a brick and mortar. And then, as you know, owning, a place that serves food, putting something new on the menu requires training staff, putting it on the menu, trying stuff. R&D, all that, and sometimes it won't hit, and then you've just wasted that time and money. And if there's a place that people could come and try ideas fresh out the pan and get instant feedback from the user group, it could help navigate and make more quick moves and pivot a lot easier. Also too, our big why is Ali Yousefi, who built the Artist Loft and gave Sean and I a home there and all this other stuff. He was a really close friend and mentor. And, that was, his vision and stuff of our street and activation, and having these things happen that help progress creativity in all assets is something that is very important for us to keep going and moving forward with that. So that's kind of our big why behind doing that. So
I love that. So first event took place last month.
June 23rd.
End of June?
Yeah,
okay,
end of June,
so
yeah.
the second one's coming around next weekend, Saturday the 25th?
25th.
Okay, so what can we expect from this event? How will it be different from, say, the first one? Anything new we can expect?
This time around, we're adding we're adding another block. Okay. So we're doubling, maybe tripling our footprint. So you can definitely expect it to be larger, as we're expecting kind of a larger attendance. Okay. The first time we saw 13,000 people walk through the gates.
Incredible.
Thank you so much.
I don't think there was someone in the city who wasn't there. Everyone was there.
Well, that means a lot.
Yeah.
So we're doubling the footprint, and with the expectation of kind of double the attendance. So we do want it to still feel dense. We want Sacramentans to be around their fellow Sacramentans. We want it to feel communal in the same way that it felt last time. But this time around, we've added a couple of really cool elements that you'll have to come out and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any advice for young entrepreneurs or young creatives that want to create something meaningful? Me top advice that you would give?
Absolutely.
Starting out.
You got to get out and just do it and put in the work and the time, and it's going to be hard, and you're going to eat crap, for a while doing it, and that's just part of the process. Like we said, we were doing stuff, crossing over paths for the last 10 years, before, and stuff is just starting to even become to fruition on stuff we've been laying seeds for in Sacramento, and we're all born and raised here, so since we were old enough to come downtown, take buses and light rail to run around downtown, like we've been doing stuff in this scene, and it's a long game, and you gotta just like put in your work, find people who are doing stuff, and find how you can be a part of that.
Right. I was just gonna say that.
People find a mentor, find mentors, find people that inspire you, and then latch onto that and figure out how you can contribute.
Yeah, and to add to that, like I would say, like don't be afraid to work for free. Like trade your time for knowledge, and like what Curtis was saying, like find a mentor, make a list of 10 different mentors that you think that you could really benefit from. Contact them and say, hey, I'd love to trade my, whatever it is that you think you can do for them, or just be a body to be around that and soak up all that knowledge.
Be a sponge.
Yeah, and you can't just get paid right off the way for, doing something. Like you have to pay your dues, and a lot of that means working for free, late nights, so on and so forth.
Taking lots of L's.
100%.
Financially, socially.
Sure.
We've learned too, like
socially is a big one.
Like we're saying, like find the people that were doing it before you. Like, I mean, like we said, we've been doing it for 10 years. Our mentors were doing it for 20 years before that. You have, Justin and Scott from Get a Clue and Jason Maggio from Official and All Good. Like these guys were doing stuff like 25 years ago in the game. You know what I mean? And it's not just this instant gratification and turnaround. It's a long process if you really want to.
That's how it should be.
And it's okay.
And that's how it should be.
I think in our community, there's so many different people that you can learn from.
Absolutely.
Just here in
Very
Sacramento,
much.
Right,
there
and
are
I think
so many different.
that's a perfect point. Like Sacramentans are really open to that. Like, whereas I think in other cities you don't have that opportunity to be able to be approaching some of the top movers and shakers in the city. So I think that if you're a Sacramentan, especially and looking for something to do, it's a little bit easier in this city, and people are a little bit more approachable. And I think that's just kind of how our city is anyway. Like we want to help each other out. So
yeah, we're all moving in the same direction.
Right.
Yep.
I love
Absolutely.
that. Just watching the growth happen right now, it's incredible.
I'm very
Absolutely.
like
It's beautiful.
collaboration oriented.
Yes.
Like that's a huge thing. It's like, people
Huge.
are doing stuff with other people who are doing stuff instead of the traditional like silo of knowledge. You can find out how to do anything online now. So it's the life lessons and knowledge that people can share with you is like what the value is.
Right. So talking about our community in Sacramento, looking into the future, what do you envision for our city in the next 5 years?
I hope that people try to execute big ideas, and that inspires other people continuously to try to execute big ideas. I also enjoy seeing our growth as a city in our own unique way. I think it's obvious and inevitable that Sacramento's trajectory is going to keep going. As things happen, things change, right? So I hope that we embrace change and do it in our unique way, as we've shown and proven to do so far.
It's the next generation. I think that's even below us. That's really going to have a major impact on the city.
Right.
I think we're about 30 years old. And so we're hopefully inspiring that next generation to do great things, and kind of paving like the Justins and Scotts that paved the way for us. We're paving the way for them, and
You'll do the same.
I think that's where it's really going to be interesting, because so far up until about this point, you have a brain drain. Our most talented people go to San Francisco or LA or elsewhere.
Such a good point.
Us three purposely stayed here because we wanted to contribute and hopefully see what's happening now come to fruition, which it is. And so I think like now that this wheel is starting to turn the other way and people are staying, that's going to have a huge impact on the next 10, 20 years. So
I fit into that category. I lived in Southern California. I never thought I'd come back up here. I was like, why? There's no reason. And I can't imagine being anywhere else but Sacramento now. And so many of my friends are the same way. Sacramento
Absolutely.
really has a way of pulling people back in.
Right.
We always
Now we
call it
have these
home
events.
base.
Yep.
Yep.
Home base.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah. To Damien's point, that's, would be the ultimate success for us, is that someone comes to us in 10 years and says, I went to our street, the first art streets, and, then this happened, right? I was inspired to do this. Like, that would be the ultimate, point or mark of success.
Well, I think you guys are definitely making an impact on so many people in the city.
We hope so.
We appreciate all that you're doing for Sacramento, and we can't wait to see what you do from here.
Likewise, thank you for
Awesome.
having
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that concludes the first episode of I Love Sacramento. Thank you to the YB Group for joining us here. Make sure to check out their event on Saturday the 25th on our street between 11th and 13th Street at 7 o'clock. Lots of fun stuff going down. Make sure to come visit me here at Nectar. Come say hi, I'm always here. And this is the first of many episodes we have coming your way on the Proud Network. And I'm going to show you what I love about Sacramento.